Hi there. Now what we'll be doing in this project is setting up our retro gaming console with the Pi. Now it's incredibly simple to do, however we need a couple of things to get started. So what we need is a keyboard. This is going to make entering the settings to the Raspberry Pi for the wireless a lot more simple. We of course need a controller, that's to play our games, and of course navigate the menus in the Raspberry Pi's distro. We need a computer running Windows, Linux or OS X, and that'll write the image for us. An SD card reader, an SD card at least 8 gig in size, bigger the better, because if we're copying ROMs across, obviously we need that extra space. We need a Raspberry Pi 1, 2, 3, or even a 0 should work fine, and of course the HDMI cable and micro USB cable to hook that up. And lastly, we need a TV to view it on. So the first thing we need to do is we need to grab the software to write our image. Now what I use is called Etcher. I find it brilliant because it's for Windows, Linux and Mac OS X, and the process is exactly the same. Now all you need to do is click download for obviously your distribution, so Windows, Linux or Mac, and click the install process if you choose the installer rather than portable. So as you can see by the GIF down here, it's incredibly simple. All you need to do is you need to select your image, then select your drive, then click flash. And once that's all sorted, we're ready to go. So we'll just cut to our next step. Now in our last step, we downloaded the thing to write our image. So needless to say, in this step we need to download the image itself. Now for this we're going to be using RetroPie over Raspberry, just because it's a whole lot easier because it has all the emulators in it. So all you need to do here is select what Pi you've got, so the 0, 1, 2 or 3, and we'll download that and jump to our next step. By now you should have the image downloaded and of course the thing to write the image downloaded, Etcher. So we'll just jump into writing the image now. So I'll just open up Etcher. The way you open it might be slightly different. You may have to open up a find dialog and type in Etcher. Either way you just start it up. And this is incredibly simple, as you can see here. I've already got my SD card hooked up, which is almost 8 gig in size. So just select image, and we go RetroPie 4.3 that I'm using, and we just click flash. And ignoring my pop-ups there we go, it's flashing. So once that's complete, all we need to do is put the SD card back in the Pi, hook up the HDMI cable and USB power, and then we'll jump to the TV and see how we go with configuring it. Okay, so where we left off, we will hook up the Pi to the actual TV and sorting that out. So what I've done is I've already hooked up a controller and I've configured it. It's very simple to go through the dialog, but it's again another reason why you'd want the keyboard, because there is ones that you want to skip. This one hasn't got half the keys like the left thumbstick and all that like the Nintendo 64 does. But from here we need to set up our wireless. So we hit 8 on that screen and we go into Wi-Fi. Obviously this connect to Wi-Fi network. I'm currently connected so I don't need to, but it is as simple as have a look where your wireless network is, connect to that one, enter your password and you're good to go. There's still something else we need to do on this screen, and that is go to RetroPie setup, because we do have the Samba shares we need to sort out. That's so we can copy our ROMs across. So if we go to configuration/tools, now down the bottom here at 828 we want to configure Samba ROM shares. Let's install the RetroPie shares. They're enabled, cool. And we'll go ahead and restart the service. So Samba should be restarted, the share should be installed, and we should be able to see it on the other computer and copy it across. So let's jump over there and copy our ROMs across. When we last left off, we just set up the Raspberry Pi with RetroPie. Now we're at the computer and we're putting the ROMs, we want to put the ROMs on there. So what we need to do here is we'll just go to open up dialog. And I'll just move this over here so you can see it. And we want to go to the Pi. So there's two ways we can do this. First one is we just go //RetroPie. And as we can see, we've got the folder there. And the other way is using the IP address. And as you can see down here, we can obviously navigate the network to it. So we just go to the ROMs directory. It's got all the different emulators it's got. So for our example, we're going to use SNES, some bit of the SNES fan myself. And I'm going to go ahead and just find a ROM and put it in there. So, RetroPie. And I've got Super Mario All-Stars here. A game that I legitimately own, just sort of do the backup here. And that should now be copied to the emulator. Now something worth noting now, a big issue that someone may have, which I've actually had myself, is when you try and access it, you may get this issue where it doesn't allow it. So all we need to do here to fix that is we go down the bottom here and go start, Windows R, start run, and what we want to run is gpedit.msc. This is a group policy editor for Windows. Now in here, I'll try to open it a bit more so you can see it. We need to allow guest logins, I believe it is, and that should be under Windows settings. Sorry, I take that back. It's under administrative templates, network, and it should be Landman workstation. And as you can see right here, enable insecure guest logons, and we have to enable that. And as you can see here under the help, it explains exactly what it's about. So the SMB client, because the RetroPie is using a Samba, so we need to connect to that one using an insecure login thing, because the other way around that is obviously shelling into the Pi and typing SMB past WD with the password for it. It's a bit more technical, but this way is the easiest way to get you running on that one, and you can disable it afterwards if you're so inclined. But now we've got that connected, we'll go ahead and see how it works. Now as you can see, we're back to the RetroPie, and what I've done is after copying it, I've restarted it, and if we look at the menu here, we've now got Super Nintendo. So we'll go across that one, we'll go into it and see what happens. As you can see there, it's Super Mario All-Stars. Excuse the camera. If we hit OK on that one, we should see it start up on this absolutely filthy monitor. There we go. It's just that easy.